And he also has one thing going for him. He's ahead of the game because he's got a great name, Austin Gregory. A lot of people have to change their name when they go into the broadcast booth. They don't have their natural name. He's blessed with a great name.
This is Austin Gregory, senior sports communication major, and his dream is to be a sports broadcaster.
Yeah, so born and raised right here in Thousand Oaks, California. Very proud for this to be my hometown, and really great opportunity. I've been able to come here to CLU and pursue my career being a sports broadcaster.
And a beautiful ball right there as we see Bainter just getting better and better as he finds Rendon there in the back corner of the end zone, wide open.
Obviously, that wasn't exactly the goal at first. Always been a sports guy, playing sports my whole entire life. Decided to retire from playing sports before I came here.
Costa on his first attempt, cut in, cut out, jump back, jump forward, and got the big first down there on a great QB draw there.
Austin first got his experience in high school when he was working for his school newspaper, as well as being a host of a student-run podcast titled Two Fanatics, One Faker.
I really started to realize how much I like broadcasting around the middle school age, but I really started to realize it was going to be for me in high school when I kind of just, realized writing stories wasn't exactly my best kind of aspect that I have in terms of being a journalist. More of I'm good at just speaking and telling the story, and that's when the podcasting began for me. Telling the story of what's going on is really what made me realize that broadcasting was going to be for me.
Randy Rosenblum is a Southern California sportscaster who has worked for NBC and has also called 3 Olympic Games. Along with that, he has broadcasted Cal Lutheran football games with Austin and described what it's like working with him.
Went well, and Austin's a great guy. I loved working with him. I loved the fact that he was totally prepared when he came into the broadcast booth. I also love the fact that he wasn't really a homer. It's easy to be a Cal Lutheran student and get up in the press box and root for the Kingsmen. He didn't do that when the Kingsmen didn't play well, and most of the time they did. We were 4-1 with Kingsmen games to the good side when we called the action.
I mean, the dream job would obviously being the play-by-play broadcaster for any Major League Baseball team. Baseball's been my favorite sport my whole entire life, but I mean, I'm fine kind of wherever I end up. So far here at Cal Lutheran, I've had the pleasure of calling both men's and women's soccer as well as football, and I enjoyed all 3 teams playing and calling all 3 of their games, and looking forward to basketball actually tomorrow. So I think kind of just wherever I end up, I think I'm going to be happy with it.
And that might have been one of the better throws we've seen from Painter all night.
Oh yeah, it's just absolute bullet right there from Bainter as he found his receiver on the outside there, and he seems to really have been getting this passing game going since, unfortunately, Motoyama went down, but he's had to move the ball through the air, and he's done a good job, especially on this drive.
I think it'd have to be my first game I was able to call this year for women's soccer. We're playing St. Catherine, which, I was obviously very nervous for my first game, and funny enough, of course, we tied the game at 1. It was a free kick from Melissa Schott, but at the time I didn't know it was Melissa Schott who scored the goal because our roster wasn't correct. And so for a good majority of the game, to me, she was mystery number 5, and that's how I talked about her on the broadcast until she finally subbed back into the game and I realized who it was. But it's a moment I'll never forget because it's the first goal I was able to call, the first game I was able to call.
Now, Austin will be graduating this spring and is part of a podcast titled Undrafted Free Agents, where he speaks about topics in today's NFL.